friends, I'm Karolina and I'm going to lead you in another yoga class. This one's going to be more of a restorative type class, so everything will be really slow paced, lots of breathing, lots of holding things for a longer time. So if you really want to sweat and get a workout in, this is not the class for you. This is really good at the end of your week, at the end of your day, something to just really get your heart rate back down and prepare you for rest. As always, make sure that the space around you is clear, so you don't hurt yourself. If you want any relaxing music or like ocean sounds or anything like that, you can turn that on, but I won't have anything on. And you might need a strap or a block. So if you have those or use them in your practice regularly, grab onto them and put them next to your mat somewhere. Let's get started on our mat. We're going to start on our backs. Just bring the knees into the chest and lightly, gently rock side to side. You want to really feel the spine start to elongate down the mat, so it feels like someone's almost pulling your tailbone, if you can imagine that. Someone's pulling your tailbone in the opposite direction of where your head is going. So that lower back and even the upper back is really pressing down into the floor. You're really trying to let go of any tension in that lower back space. You get that a lot, especially when we're seated for a long period of time, or if you're traveling or something like that. And then slowly, the feet come down to the floor. Just make sure they're about hip width apart. You can bring your tailbone up a few times just to find a really comfy spot. You just want a little bit of space underneath your low back, so you want a neutral spine, but you don't want to be sticking your lower belly out too much or sticking your butt out. So find that neutral spine, but also feel like there's a magnet kind of pulling your lower back down towards the floor. You can close your eyes here. We're going to place one hand on our lower belly, one hand on our chest. And we're just going to start to focus on our breath now. So we've kind of found our alignment, our space on our mat, and now we're going to focus on our breath and our awareness of where our mind is at right now. So bringing your attention to that little mat space on the floor, or maybe you're on a towel or something like that. Just noticing the texture of the mat or whatever is underneath you. Noticing how your back rests into the floor. Noticing those other points of contact of the floor, maybe the bottoms of the feet, the backs of the shoulders, the back of the head. What do you feel in your body? Allowing those points of contact to really rest into the floor. The floor is taking your body weight. And then moving your attention to your breath, the front of your body and the sides. How much is your lower belly and your chest expanding? And when you're ready, you can slowly release your hands back down to your sides. Just let the backs of the arms and the backs of the hands rest into the floor, just like you did with your back and your feet and your head. But now you have this extra awareness of your breath. Feeling the rib cage open and close. Wherever you're at, I'm going to take at least 5 more breaths here. If you take more, that's fine. Focusing especially on the exhale, making it longer than the inhale. So you're really releasing that breath out completely before you start your next inhale. And each time you take that exhale, allowing the body to sink even farther down into the floor and to relax. And then when you finish your 5 breaths, bring some gentle movement back into your fingers, a little bit of movement into your toes, maybe. Just let your head fall side to side slowly. And then reach the arms up over the head. Stretch the arms. Maybe you let out a yawn here. And then your arms come back out to the sides in kind of this T shape, but with the fingers pointed up in the same direction as the top of your head. Just let the knees fall side to side. And then come back to center. Bring the knees back into the chest. Extend the left leg down the mat. Hold that right leg in. Just take some ankle rolls, that right foot. If this is a lot for your left hip flexor, you can bend the left leg, place the left foot down on the floor. Otherwise, extend that leg all the way out. Take those ankle rolls in both directions. And then we're going to bring that movement into our hip. So allowing the knee to open out to the side and then bringing it back in. You can take that in kind of an open and close motion, or you can take that in a full circle. Use your right hand to guide the knee and try to keep this left hip stable as possible. Maybe placing your left hand on the left hip. And then come back to stillness. Now if you have that towel or that strap, you can place it underneath your arch. If you know that your hamstrings are decently flexible, you can grab your peace fingers onto your big toe and extend that right leg up. So I like to do it this way. If you are doing it this way, make sure that this arm is relatively relaxed, so you're not tensing up that area. You can just let your left hand rest down the floor or rest gently on your left hip bone so that that left hip isn't coming up. Again, if you need to, you can place a strap or a towel or something else that's not too flexible. You don't want one of those flexible bands unless that's all you have. You want something that's a little bit more sturdy here underneath the arch of your right foot, and just gently pull in. Start to flex that foot even more so that right heel is pressing up towards the ceiling or towards the sky if you're doing this outside. And then we're going to take some bending and stretching in that right leg. So take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, we're going to bend the knee. Pull it in towards your face. Take a deep breath in, and exhale, press the heel up and away. Again, inhaling, we're going to bend the leg. Exhaling, pressing it out. I'm going to take that 3 more times. Bending. As you inhale, exhaling to straighten, pressing that right heel away, bending, exhaling, straighten. 1 more time, bending, and reaching that heel up towards the sky. Reach, 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 lengthen the back of the left or the right leg. Really nice work. Now if you want to take this a step further, it's a little bit easier to do this with a strap or with a block or something. But if you're holding onto that strap onto your foot, or if you have just your fingers on your big toe, you're going to start to press your leg away from that arm or away from the strap, but use the strap or your hand to pull the leg in. So you have this isolation of your leg in this one spot, but your muscles are trying to work in opposing directions here, so you're really finding a good stretch in the back of the leg. So we're going to hold that for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and let go, release. You should feel that leg come in a little bit closer. Again, we're going to press the leg away, press that heel on the back of the leg away, pull the leg in with your arm. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, Exhale and let go. One more time. Ready? Press the leg away. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhaling. Awesome work. We're going to let go of that leg. We're going to bring the knee back in. And then we're going to open the knee out to the side. We're going to come into a reclined tree pose. So the right foot is up against the left leg as much as possible. It doesn't matter if it's actually touching that leg. We just want to have that image. So if you were looking at me from above, I would look like I was in a tree pose with that right leg against, the right foot against the left leg. And you can just gently press down the inner thigh of the right leg. Again, making sure that this left hip is still where it's at and it's not rotating up like that. Take some more breaths here, in and out. We're going to take at least 5 more breaths, really focusing on that outer glute of the right leg, making sure that you're not tightening it up here. Last breath in and out. And then take the right hand, guide that right knee in towards the center again. Pull the right knee into the chest. We're going to stretch that leg up again. This time you're not going to hold it, but we're going to try to lengthen the right heel down to the floor, but feel like someone's pulling your leg in that direction. Okay, slowly. We're going to start from 5 and count down to 0. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, keep lengthening that leg out of the hip. 2, 1, 0. Allow that right leg to go heavy into the floor. Just take a moment. Notice maybe the length of the right leg might feel a bit longer than the left leg, and that's just because we are really working that leg and taking that isometric contraction. A couple more breaths here. Just allowing your body to fully appreciate that length in the back of the right leg. And then we're going to hug both knees back into the center. Take a little bit of movement side to side again. Again, we're going to feel as if that tailbone is reaching down in the opposite direction from us. Alright, continuing into the left side. We're going to extend the right leg down the mat. Again, same thing. If you'd like to, you can just place the right foot down onto the floor. This is a little much for your hip flexors. And then just starting again with those ankle rotations in the left foot. Make sure you go in both directions. Taking that as slow as you need to. Continue to pull the left knee into the chest, creating a nice stretch down the front of this right hip. And then we're going to do the same thing. Just kind of gently place your right hand on your right hip bone. And then opening up the knee, bringing it back in. You can take these in full circles. Use that left hand to guide the left knee, or you can just open it out and bring that knee back in towards you. Whatever works best for you. And then bring that knee back in. And we're going to again extend the left leg. So you can either use your 2-piece fingers on your big toe, or you can take that strap or that towel or whatever you have there underneath the arch of the left foot. And maybe you'll start with this knee a little bit bent here if you have really tight hamstrings. Give yourself a break here. Give your leg a moment and your body a moment to adjust to the stretch. And then when you're ready over time, with your breath, you'll slowly start to press that left heel up in opposition away from you. So you're really extending and lengthening the back of the leg here. Imagining your breath just traveling up and down this left leg, up and down the back of it, the front. So you have this nice line of energy up and down that leg. And then again, we're going to take this leg into a bent and straight position 5 times. So you're going to inhale, pull that leg in towards you, maybe noticing how it's different from the other side. And then as you exhale, really pressing that heel up and away. 4 more times, bending. Exhaling to straighten the leg. Bending. Exhaling, straightening the leg. Bending. Exhaling, straightening. 1 more time, bending. And exhaling, straightening. Okay, same thing as on the other side. You're going to feel this leg pressing away from you in that direction, and then you're going to be pulling the leg in the opposite direction. So you have this nice isometric contraction. Your leg isn't actually going anywhere, but you want to feel like it is. So ready? We're going to press that heel and the back of the leg away. Flex the foot as much as possible. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhaling, release. Allow that leg to drop in closer to you. 2 more times. Inhale, and start to press that leg away. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 1 more time. Holding onto that leg. Inhaling, pressing away. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhaling. Awesome. Take another breath here. Should really feel even more length, even more stretch. It might be a little bit uncomfortable, but that's okay. And bending that leg. We're going to take this into a reclined tree again. So you're going to open that left knee out to the side. Make sure that this right hip is not coming over, but it's remaining down firmly into the floor. So if you need to move the left foot away from the right leg, that's okay, or you can have it a little bit closer. The same thing, you want your hips about even, facing up towards the ceiling on the same plane. So you really want to try hard. If your hips are rotating a little bit, that's okay, but you want to go for as little of that rotation as possible. Maybe gently pressing down on the inner thigh here. Just gently. You really don't want to use a lot of pressure here. You want gravity to just let your body not do any work. Deep breaths in and out, maybe closing your eyes here. Again, allowing yourself to feel that space underneath you, the texture of the mat or the floor or the grass, whatever it is you're laying on. Really good. All right. Take another breath here. Then you're going to take your left hand, guide that knee back into the center. Pull that knee in. Straighten the leg back up. And same thing, we're going to reach that heel away from us as if someone's pulling your leg out of its socket. We don't want that, but we want that feeling so that you're lengthening that leg even more. Ready? Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Ooh, just let that weight of the leg go down into the floor. Awesome work. Hopefully you weren't working too hard. Again, this class is about lengthening your breathing, lowering your heart rate, maybe readying yourself for going to sleep, or just releasing some tension at the end of the week or the end of the day. So you really want to give yourself and your body that time to transition between movements, between stretches, so you can really have the full benefit. Awesome. Slowly bring both knees back into the chest. Take a rock side to side. We're going to roll onto one side. And we're going to come up to a tabletop position. And we're just going to do a little bit of arm and shoulder stretching to finish this up. We're going to start with a cat and cow. So your fingers are spread out, hands are pressed down into the mat. Your knees are about as wide as your hips. Dropping the lower belly, starting to curve the tailbone up, opening up the chest to the front, looking up at the sky. Slowly starting to round the tailbone. Feel that movement trail through the spine, all the way up to the top, to the shoulders, to the head. And then reversing that, starting from the tailbone, allowing the tailbone to reach up. You're taking this just gently, slowly, one little piece of the vertebrae at a time, if that was possible. Exhaling, starting to round back. Take that 2 more times. Inhaling to open the chest space, pressing the hands down to the floor, feeling the shoulder blades coming together. Exhaling, rounding the back shoulder blades, reach apart. Last one. Continuing to lengthen that back space, to find space, exhaling, rounding the back. This last time, as you round the back, we're going to sit back, keep that back as rounded as possible, slowly untuck the toes, and sit back slowly onto the heels in child's pose, walking the hands forward in front of you. Deep breath in and out. We're going to thread the left arm underneath the right. You're going to stay in this child's pose position. Just opening up the back of the shoulder. Slowly unthreading that needle and going to the other side, right arm underneath the left. Place the head down on the floor. Deep breaths in and out. Slowly unfolding. Awesome. Hopefully that felt good on your shoulders. One more stretch that we're going to do here. This one's optional. If this is a lot of pressure on your chest or on your shoulders, just you're welcome to stay in this child's pose position, or even bring your arms down to rest at your sides. We're going to walk the hands forward. Trying to feel like you're kind of sticking your butt out in this position, but you have your tailbone up in the air. And you're going to stay in this position up on your knees, and you're just going to walk the hands forward slowly. This is a really nice chest opener. It can feel kind of awkward at first. You can either place your forehead down, which is a little bit less of a stretch on your chest, or you can place your chin down and start to reach your chest forward. Again, if this is really intense on your chest or on your shoulders, just stay in your child's pose. Again, deep breaths in and out. And then looking up slowly, using your hands to pull the body forward as you're on your stomach. Last couple of things here. Bend the legs. Just drop the feet side to side here. Little windshield wiper moment. Come back to stillness. Extend the left leg down the mat. We're going to reach back and grab the outside of the right foot or the right ankle and just pull that foot in towards you. If you don't really feel that stretch, come up onto your forearm or reach back to grab that foot, and you can even use your forearm or your elbow to pull the leg in towards you. If you're doing that, just make sure you're not sinking down into your shoulder. We just opened up our shoulders really nicely. So this one you're going to have a little bit of active pressure down into the floor from your left hand and arm. Keep pressing that right down into the floor. And exhaling, release that foot down. Switching sides. Again, if you need to, you can stay in this relaxed position, still pressing that hip down into the floor, or you can come up onto your forearm, reach back, grab that left foot. I need a lot of stretch in my quads, so I always come up onto that forearm. Again, making sure you're not dropping down into that shoulder, but you're actively pressing the palm and the forearm down into the floor. Deep breaths in and out. And slowly releasing that foot down. Again, bend both legs. Take that windshield wiper movement. Movement side to side and relax the legs back down. I'm going to come back up, but you're going to turn over onto your back and find your Shavasana if that's what you feel like doing. Again, Shavasana is kind of optional here because in a restorative class you're really getting into that resting pose throughout class. And so hopefully you really lower your heart rate and relax your body and your muscles a lot here. If you are in Shavasana, take a moment to just let your feet point out down to the sides. Allow your legs to rest heavy into the floor. Allow your arms to rest heavy into the floor. You want your palms to be open up towards the ceiling. So you're really in this open position rather than a closed position. And you're opening up the shoulders as well when your palms are up towards the ceiling rather than having them closed off. So you really want that nice open position. Closing your eyes, relaxing the eyelids, unclenching the jaw, and just letting yourself rest here. Letting your body sink into the floor, letting it take in all those stretches that we just did, and really feeling that from your toes up to the top of your head. Again, as always, thank you so much for practicing with me today. If you need to rest in your Shavasana for longer, maybe set a 5-minute timer or something so you can just rest your eyes and not fall asleep. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day or your evening or your weekend. Thank you for practicing with me. Namaste.